Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
You're really Christmassy, aren't you?
Yes.
That's great. This is a new sweater I just got. So this is my,
Let me see it. Yeah.
it's
It's is
got
it black?
speckles. It's dark blue with speckles. It
Okay,
has,
nice. Yes.
so it's very nice. Yeah.
Yes.
So, so what have you got in front of you?
Okay, this is a charcuterie board that a friend of mine made and brought for me today. It's all vegan.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Yeah, no, so I was very touched by that. These little vegan ones, so I remember eating whoa, I remember eating Baby Bell cheeses when I was a kid, but
Yes.
they now have the
y-
vegan ones, and I've seen them on
Fantastic.
the internet, but I have not been able to find them. So they got this, they got no, and I mean, this is just beautiful. And
That's
so
wonderful. We
yeah,
are very nice friends. Good.
no,
Yeah.
I was very touched by that. So and then and so how are you doing? And
Oh,
then yeah,
good.
I've got my festive fire behind me,
Yeah,
and
I see that. We haven't got our festive fire going yet, but we will shortly.
yeah.
Um, it was about 6 degrees when we woke up this morning.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, that's the what's going on in most of the country, I guess, is various kinds of weather. How has it been all week?
It's been absolutely fine. We're on the very, very outer edge of the storm. So we got a lot of rain a couple of days ago,
Yeah,
a little bit of flooding, but
yes,
other than the fact that it's very cold, it was quite sunny. So
yeah.
we're better off than a lot of places like Buffalo and Western New
Oh, for
York.
sure. No, for sure.
So
Yeah, no, I was talking to someone in Hawaii who was bracing for snow this week. I mean, it's just been,
really,
yeah,
oh,
no, it's just been crazy everywhere. Here we got snow earlier in the week. Um, I had a work event. Well, it was a volunteer event, but it was some people from work, and we decided to tough it out and do it. And then it started snowing while we were there. So I actually got to drive on snowy roads. And I'm sure I was that slow driver that people were like, but I don't care. I'm going to
it's
drive
better to
slow.
be slow. It's
Yeah,
much better to be slow.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I made it home, was glad for that. And then after that, and then after that, we've just had a lot of rain, but it was very icy. I mean, it was so the snow didn't close the roads, but then Washington Department of Transportation recommended yesterday that don't drive unless you need to because it was, I mean, they were like, I mean, literally, it was like ice skating rinks.
Oh,
My poor dogs, I just let them out yesterday and I didn't even think about it. And they just, I mean, they skidded right off the porch. I mean,
oh,
it was just, I mean, so everything was very icy. And so we were supposed to do a different work event. And that's and so this coworker knew that I was vegan. So they made this for me and that was going to be part of that. But then that got canceled. So they brought it to me, which I thought was very, very sweet.
that's really nice.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so what else? What is your, how has your Christmas Eve day
Well,
been?
it kind of just suddenly appeared. I mean, I was working during the week,
Yeah,
and end of the year, there's always stuff to do, and
right.
I because of this exhibition that opens actually February 1st, which I realize is actually quite soon.
Yeah,
Um, I've had to do quite a lot of work with that. And since we're not printing a catalog, we're doing an online
right.
microsite. But I farmed out essays to various different
Yes.
people to do them. And so having farmed them out, I have to get them in and edit them. But I have help on that, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it was quiet as far as visitors go, but there's
Sure.
always last minute,
Yeah.
nonsense. But I left the city on Thursday morning, actually,
Uh-huh.
early Thursday morning. So
And then are you there through the
I'm
New
here
Year?
through this next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be here. And yeah, Victoria might go into the city once next week, and Victoria's with us. Beatrice is with us now, and then she's going skiing with some friends, probably on what's today on Monday. So
Nice.
Yeah, so it's good, and apart from the fact we have the same, the dogs like to go outside, but it's very cold. Then they come in
Right.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah. What again? My dogs are. They never agree on anything, even though they're always together and they just seem like an amorphous unit. Duke loves the snow. Daisy hates the snow. She hates the cold, but he will frolic in it. He rolls in it.
Okay.
He loves
Yeah.
the snow, and she just won't have it at all. So I try to accommodate both of them and go to sort of mid level walks. But yesterday it was so icy. I mean, not even just the roads, but the sidewalks. I didn't go. We didn't. I just let them out
Didn't
to the
go out.
yard, and
Yeah.
that was it. But
And Karma, she just stays in the house.
she's an outdoor cat. No, she went out and played in the snow while running in
Really?
snow. Yeah, no, both of Luna and Karma are both outdoor cats, indoor, outdoor. Um, and they'll let me know. They at the door. They basically knock at the door when they're ready to come in, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm at a Zoom meeting and I have to say, "Oh, excuse me, my cat's at the door." And
Yeah.
but so then, and then what are you? What is your plan for tomorrow? Are you going to see a movie or?
Uh, well, well, right now, we're in a seem to be in a marathon of this explain this to me, because Tim Allen is Santa Claus, right?
Oh, the Santa Claus.
So there's now a TV series.
Oh, okay. Is Tim Allen on it?
Yes, it's called The Santa Clauses.
Oh, I knew that. I think I knew
And
that.
and
Okay.
I do not remember much about the movies,
Yeah.
except thinking that Tim Allen was probably the last actor I would ever choose to play Santa Claus. But
Oh,
maybe
well,
that,
I mean, unless it's like a bad Santa type of role, unless it's like supposed to be cocaine fueled or like, I mean, I don't
yeah.
know. I'm not a big Tim Allen fan at
But
all.
now he's completely the at least in appearance, he's the well, actually in appearance and behavior, he's the classic Santa.
He's aged into it. No, sure. I'm
But
sure.
what's happened is he's, according to this TV show, he's retiring and um he's interviewing new applicants,
Sure.
one of whom was Peyton Manning, who was
Oh, okay.
unsuccessful.
Yeah.
And but the new Santa is going to be a guy who is in Kumar and something.
Harold and Kumar. Yeah.
Yeah, African American actor, I think, and he plays a character who he's a widower with a 2-year-old daughter. So he's I'm sure going to be the new
Okay.
Santa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but the big event tomorrow will be the big event every Christmas, which is watching White Christmas and Charlie Brown's Christmas. Like, some people go to mass, they go to midnight mass every year, and we do this every year.
Right. No, I get it. It's that
And
it is. Yeah.
it is actually interesting because I'm now very cognizant of nuances of behavior of extras in the background and the cocktail scenes. Yeah, so I'm becoming, you might say, a specialist. I wouldn't say expert, but I'm a specialist in Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Rosemary Clooney, who has always struck me as an interesting actress, because she's not really glamorous,
Right. No. Yeah, 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 yeah.
but she can act.
But she
So
works
yeah,
it. No, I like. Yeah, no, I like Rosemary Clooney.
so 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 yeah, so that will happen. And yeah, so it's and I'm always concerned every year that I might not get my plum pudding, but I always do. And so I'm happy for that. That's the only, I think, leftover British thing that I have as a
Yeah,
connection to my childhood.
yeah.
although the plum pudding tastes, what you get in the store here, which is I think imported, is pretty good, except that the plum pudding that my grandmother used to send from Scotland was nothing like English plum pudding. It was in fact, it was very nutty. It was a light brown and very nutty. It was different.
Okay, there is a new cooking show. I can't remember the name of it. It is, they help you recreate lost family recipes. So, I mean, literally, people come in with like their grandmother's card, but it's missing the last ingredient because it's
Oh, really?
like it's like shredded or faded, and they help you in a lab, and then of course they show these reaction shots of people. Oh my gosh, this is it. This is exactly it. They help you.
Oh, it's amazing. That's a very clever idea.
And hi Duke, none of this is for dogs. No, so I don't know what, I mean, I think I'm probably just going to stay in the neighborhood. I might go to a movie. I haven't been to a movie in the movie theater on Christmas Day in a few years. I think the last movie I saw in the theater was Cats on Christmas Day. So
Cats.
That was probably, they made a movie out of the musical. Taylor Swift is in it.
I didn't see that. I didn't
know.
No,
no one did. It was
me.
it was not well received. I liked it, but I like Cats, which already it requires a level of suspension of disbelief beyond most fantasy, which I understand because it's not just talking and singing and dancing cats. It's that it's non-linear. It doesn't really have a plot. Anyway, I could go on and on about Cats. In fact, maybe I'll watch that.
Well, it is based on T.S. Eliot. So
right. No, it's based on poems, so it's not supposed
definitely postmodern.
Yeah. No, but I don't know what I would see in the theater either. I think Black Panther isn't playing anymore, and then I don't want to see Avatar. Have you seen it, or are you going to?
I won't see it. I don't like blue. The blue people put me off. That they creep me out.
And people, I mean, specifically indigenous folks, are calling for boycott because he's made comments that are like about how he based this story that are very sort of savory, and people call it blueface, and it's like, there's a lot about it that's just, if it creeps you out, it's for good reason. If you feel just sort of averse to it.
I watched a trailer and I thought I did see the first one, which left me cold. And then I saw a trailer for this and I thought this is just stupid. And I felt it. I did feel it was somewhat offensive. I don't know. It was. I don't know. It was like making up a race of people, and why do you need to do that?
But when you read about what his motivation was real life history. It's like he took people's real history, semi-fictionalized it so he could do what he wanted with it. The other part, and then the other part of it is they just look terrible. It doesn't matter how expensive and CGI and blah blah blah. The first one is completely forgettable. He's super defensive about that because that was one of the first criticisms when this one was coming out. Beyond any of the indigenous stuff was, can anyone even remember the names of the characters from the first one? They're not, and it's completely forgettable other than a sea of blue. But it's going to make its money. So, Oh, the other thing is, he just seems like a jerk. He just seems, he's really defensive and he flips off his fans and he takes shots at Marvel. But it's like, they're making the same kind of movies you are, dude. You're not making high art compared to Marvel.
No, I've seen him a couple of times and he seems to me to be very pretentious.
But to his credit, he has over and over and over made what ends up being the number one movie in the world, sometimes only beating his own record from Titanic to Terminator 2 to, I don't know, all the other ones, because he makes the money, so I guess he can be a jerk. I don't know.
Last night we watched a new movie. We watched a new movie, although it was on Netflix. Called The Glass Onion.
Oh yeah. That one was rare for Netflix because they actually released it in the theater for a week.
Yes.
But how was it?
Well,
you haven't seen the first one because it's a sequel.
Yes, I did, but this doesn't. I don't remember. I don't think this is that connected to it. It's a classic murder mystery setup.
Yeah.
Greek island, 7 people, detective, blah, blah, blah. It's there are a lot of twists in it. There's some good acting. It's a bit over the top, but that's certainly shouldn't be a criticism. Ed Norton is good, and Daniel James Bond, who plays
Daniel Craig. Yes. No. Yeah.
Daniel Craig plays he plays a southern a detective who seems a bit thick with a big southern accent, who turns out not to be so stupid. But no, I would say it's light fare.
Yeah.
And you feel a little bit manipulated, but I mean, you can't move much further than Agatha Christie, and that's, I mean, there's
Yeah.
But anyway, no, it was fine. It was fine. I followed it, and I finished it.
Are they contemporary or are they period? They're contemporary movies, though, right?
Oh, these very much. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
this
that's what I
is
thought.
about, yeah, this is like he's a kind of Elon Musk character,
Okay.
gathering
Yeah.
people. Yeah. So yeah, it's very contemporary,
Okay. While we're talking about streaming shows, I think you and I have both been saying Jenny Ortega, and it has been brought to my attention that it is Jenna Ortega.
This is for Wednesday.
This is Wednesday. Yes. I also said Steinfeld for about 12 years. So I'm
Steinfeld
instead of Seinfeld. I'm bad with names. I'm just bad with names in general. So, but yeah, someone said it was brought to my attention that it is Jenna Ortega, not Jenny Ortega.
Okay, duly noted. That there was a very interesting. You know how they have these reporters out in the cold now, doing these.
Yeah.
And I caught one the other morning, because they don't always use like the weather people. They just chuck them out on the street.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So this young woman, I didn't know if anyone was going to get it, but she started off saying, "Well, it's Festus today," and and actually, once they got back to the studio, one of the studio hosts congratulated her for getting that Seinfeld reference in, which because she's a kid. I mean, it's obviously
rest of us for the rest of us. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, no, Jen. Yeah. Oh no, there was a sportscaster who, again, he was thrown into a street. It's 3 a.m. and he went viral just because he made it very clear he was not thrilled to be there, and he would much rather be covering the games, which all got canceled. And he doesn't.
I saw him briefly before it got famous, and he was saying, I just saw him saying, the something about I can't feel my face, but maybe that's a good thing, or something like that. Like he was getting, well, good for him. I mean, that's how they make a living. So what else is going on in the world at the end of the year? Has this just been a terrible year, I guess?
I mean, well, okay. This is the time of year everyone's doing their year ends and all the, okay. So, all right, I don't even know where to go with this. All right, Pantone's color for 2023 is Viva Magenta. Thoughts, feelings, thoughts, feelings.
Inappropriate.
What?
Inappropriate.
Because too optimistic?
Yeah, too fantasistic.
Okay. No. Word. Yeah. Okay. Words
not grounded in reality.
No, I agree. Blazers are making a comeback. Thoughts or feelings about that for men and women, and I guess non-binary folks as well? Blazers.
I've been noticing that my standard work blazer, which wasn't very expensive, fits me very poorly, and I've been wearing it for a couple of years, and no one has mentioned that to me, but I might have to get another blazer, but I don't know.
What makes you think it fits you poorly? What
Because I once
Oh.
looked at myself in the mirror,
Which you had not previously done.
which I don't usually do. I
I
just
think
get
that
dressed.
happens to me too for items of clothing I've owned for a very long time that I say, is this how I've always looked? Is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sometimes sometimes I think I'm wearing a suit, but I'm actually not, you know.
yeah,
The pants are from something else, although they're
they're
similar in color.
close. Yeah, 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 yeah.
They're close. They're close, you know, but and then when
But
you get into
no,
the daylight, it
but
changes.
I mean, designer Michael Kors would say, you don't want it to be too matchy
No,
matchy.
exactly.
So
No,
don't.
well, yeah, I can go there. I can go there if I'm challenged,
And
but I'm
I love
usually
your
not.
sock game. I have to admit, I love your sock game. I noticed when you were, I mean, you've always had a good sock game. So
Sock game.
your socks, you just have good.
Yeah, I got complimented in my socks because when I do physical therapy, we don't wear our shoes, you
Oh,
know,
yes. Yeah, yeah.
and so I get some sock compliments from young people, so which I
Yeah.
feel good about, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play a good sock game.
All right. Yahoo
What about
Finance.
what about
Oh, go ahead. Go
what
ahead.
about Zelensky and coming to America? That's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, that was that I yeah, that you did you hear about Trump Jr. and his tweet about with Hunt so he photoshopped Hunter Biden. I mean, again, this is I mean, and then he had to delete it and apologize, but yeah, he took a moment that could have been a completely nonpartisan just
Yes.
yeah, 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 whatever.
Well, where did he put Hunter Biden?
I don't know. I well, no. I mean, he just photoshopped a picture of him onto the picture of Zelensky presenting the flag
Oh,
to,
I see.
you know, obviously, I would say the moment that he's objecting to is that it was Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi in a photo op. So he photoshopped Hunter Biden into it just to remind people that Hunter Biden exists, who again isn't running for any public office, isn't.
Isn't Hunter Biden's future that of a trivia answer?
Well, I don't care. Yeah, and again,
I mean, I don't who
yeah.
he's like a piece of driftwood that hanging on to and hoping that it's going to sail them to victory or something.
But the
But
same people, because they live in an echo chamber and repeat each other's phrases over and over, say that people who hate Trump, that he is living rent free in their heads. And I'm like, he's not actually. You're paying for it. You bought the NFTs. You donated to the campaign that actually paid his lawyers. I'm not paying for it. You're paying for it. And the fact that he continues to exist, the fact that he continues to have a platform that I have to listen to, is because people are funding it. And so, yeah, it's not rent free. Hunter Biden is literally living in rent free in some people's heads. I don't know what he does in actual life, but, and I don't, yeah, again, if he goes to jail, that's fine. If he does whatever crime, if he did anything, that's fine. But he's not the president. He's
seems to be a very, very loose. I don't know. It's a, you know.
Well, now they have these Twitter files, and so I mean, again, I don't even. But again, these. This is like okay. You have to remember for 5 years we had to hear about Obama, the possibility Obama wasn't an American citizen, was born in Kenya, and was a Muslim, despite the fact that none of that is demonstrably true. I mean, it was never true, and there
So
was
it never
never any evidence of it. But
yeah.
we had to hear about it for years and years and years and years. They will grasp at any straw. Like I'm sorry. Like this is
Well,
not.
Trump condemned the kids in Central Park
Oh, oh no, of course. Again,
on the
and when
front
people,
page of on a with a full page ad in the New York Times.
Trump's father was sued for ethnic discrimination in his housing developments.
Yeah,
You know, in the '70s. Like this is generational. Like it's not.
yeah.
New Yorkers know this. Yeah, New York. I'm
New
okay.
Yorkers know this. I
All right,
mean, yeah.
Gregory Gillespie is an artist whose son was, I guess, has been now convicted in January 6th.
He has
Yeah,
Gregory Gillespie.
yeah, the son, not the artist, but
His name is familiar to me,
they
but
said he has work in the MoMA, but none of all the other galleries don't sound. I mean,
he's
I
an
don't.
older guy. He's
Yeah,
in
I
his
don't know what his
80s.
style is, but it's not modern. I mean, it doesn't
No,
sound.
I think he's in his 80s, I think. I think he's an artist who's been around a long time, but has recently been, sort of quote unquote discovered, because he's African American and he's been painting a long time. But so his son was a well, I mean, that's not anything to do with. I mean, is that his fault? I don't know. I
No,
mean,
no, I have no idea. No, yeah. Okay. Okay, words of the year. Nepo baby.
I just saw this. I Victoria sent me a story that I should have seen because it came from an art news thing about using the word nepos.
Yeah,
And it was listing all of the gallery people in the art world
sure.
who were, which were basically, as far as I'm concerned, family-owned businesses.
But
And
I
they were
know,
saying,
because that's the other part, right?
so it seemed to me that it would be easier to actually identify galleries that were not family-owned businesses. No, I'm serious, because it's often, and this has been true for 200 years, it's often been a family
Some of them
business.
who put and sons in their name as if they're not hiding anything. It's not. I mean,
No, it's a family business because it's a.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I the idea to say, well, so I don't know. Royalty is nepotism, right? I
No,
mean,
right.
because you
Okay.
don't choose, you don't go and find someone to be king, right?
Right.
Your eldest becomes king, so that's
Right.
nepotism.
And
So
gets yeah. No, okay, but here's where I think the term is interesting, but where it diverges, and you're right, it's already become sort of just randomly applied to just anyone who, and I think no, I think conversations around generational wealth, conversations around access to industries, are worth having, and and then who gets left out when that happens. I think those are interesting and worthwhile conversations. When it started and where this term, like specifically like Nepo babies and Nepos and all that, where a series of interviews where people like Lily Rose Depp, who is the child of Johnny Depp,
yeah,
or Sophia Hawke, who is the child of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, basically seeming bewildered in an interview when questioned on if they felt they had any industry access that other people didn't have, and or really sort of defensive around, well, yes, but I still did it myself, trying to kind of have it both ways, like, but I still worked hard, which is I'm 100% sure is true.
yeah, yeah,
But lots of people work hard and don't make it because they don't have the access you do, and that is worth being acknowledged. So I think there's sort of to me a very specific application of the term that is around people who have a very specific sort of blind spot that is worth calling out, versus just sort of naming anyone who, like you said, is in a family business, or naming anyone who it is natural for people to follow in their parents' footsteps, or to
yeah.
learn. I mean,
In the art gallery business, if the I mean, what I'm seeing now, because I've seen two or three generations. I've seen the second or the third generation uh, uh, outperform the parents, and I've seen them let it all go to hell.
sure,
So
sure,
it really does depend on their they can be there. They've got the job
yes,
because of they're
yeah,
born into it,
yeah,
but do they they can only keep the job if they're good at it. Now, with acting, it's maybe a bit different because there is that business about access, and is a casting director,
mm-hmm.
a casting agent is not going to refuse to see Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke's daughter, right, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's no good, they're not going to give her a big role in a big movie, right? If she's no good. So, or I don't. Maybe they are.
No. Okay, here's the thing. I don't. Again, this is nothing against her, because I think she's talented, and I actually think Lily Rose Depp is as well. It's not about that. I think when I think of the entire movie industry, I don't think everyone has talent. I don't think everyone gets every role based on talent. I think that's one factor, but I think so. I think you okay. Well, to make it much more personal, um, I was a child model because my mother was a model. My first job was in the New York Times because she somehow engineered that. I don't even know how. Then she got me before Eileen Ford personally and got me. I was a Ford model for a while, one of the best modeling agencies in the world. But I didn't last very long, mostly because I can't sit still. I've never been good at sitting still. That is like being still is like the main qualification of a model, and I could never do it. And so I wasn't a very good model. So yeah, no, talent does matter as well.
Yeah, I mean, that I'm thinking now in England, there have been big acting families like
Yes.
Michael Redgrave and Lynn Redgrave, and actually there are a lot of actors and actresses still, some in Hollywood from that family. I think Liam Neeson's wife
Oh
was
yeah, no, I know. It's
Redgrave,
sometimes it's
but
I forget.
they
Yeah,
taught each other. I mean, the point is they were raised
right,
to be act from they were
right.
taught acting as in the
No,
crib,
yes, no,
so to
yeah.
speak, and
Um,
not all of them did it. Not all of them did it. Some of them
right.
didn't. So uh yeah, I mean, if you go I mean, if you went into a village, I don't know, 100 150 years ago, the butcher and the baker and the greengrocer and the blacksmith, they'd be family business,
Because
right?
that's their last name. What else are you going to do? Your name is Baker. I mean, right? I mean, yeah. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. So, no,
It's a store, it's a kind of a
I agree. Yeah, 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 yeah.
um I mean, it's helpful to people who don't make it, who can say, well, I didn't make it because my mother wasn't, famous or anything. But
But no, but again, let's flip that back around. And I think because for everyone who gets, I don't want to say undue access, but who gets access, that's the other thing. I know you, like a producer, they're going to want to work. They know the family. They know, I mean, there are other connections. They send a gift basket. They've known this child since they were a child. I think, I don't know. But for everyone who gets access, someone doesn't get access. And I think those stories that don't get told, whichever creative art or medium, I think is worth exploring as well.
well,
Um,
look at people like David Geffen and Jack Nicholson, who started off being gophers in agencies, or they were literally the lowest. They came in at the lowest rung of the ladder. They didn't have any access at all, right? I
Harrison Ford was putting in a
mean,
media center. Literally, he was working in carpentry for someone who recommended him to George Lucas, and that's how he got Star Wars. So, I mean, yeah.
yeah,
But no, but okay, George Clooney, Rosemary Clooney, back taking that back full circle.
yes,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know. I don't.
yeah.
But I like George Clooney, and I like
I
yeah.
think he's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him and and the Clooney clan.
Yes. Okay, the other word, goblin or phrase actually, goblin mode.
Goblin.
Mode, MODE. Have you ever heard this one?
I think I
Can,
think I
without even knowing what it is, what does it sound like to you? What would you define? What? Yeah.
I
Because
don't know.
dictionary does.
Is that being voracious, like
No,
goblin?
no. It's almost the opposite. It's hiding and being.
Oh, yes.
It's
Okay.
like
Yes.
sort of like going into your own. Like people talk about it, and like a lot of people, especially right now in the holidays,
Oh,
if
I
if you're going to
did.
be reclusive and like I'm just going to hide under the covers and go into goblin mode, which that one, and then the other one, this one's scary to me, that young people are using. They're calling it a grippy sock vacation, and that refers to the type of socks that you wear in psychiatric facilities,
What
which
kind of sock?
grippy, like grip, like
Oh,
for that
grippies. Yes, yes.
grippy. And to me, both of it, that and Goblin Mode, I get it. I get there are memes and jokes about it, and it's joking, but it also speaks to me about, I'm sincere, mental health and a real like sort of this urge of escapism. Bringing this back to the color of the year, the Viva, I don't know, but this like, either escapism into your, and again, I'm the wrong person to talk about. I live in Goblin Mode. I mean, I really am. Other than my work, me and my dogs. I don't. Yeah. But this, I don't know, this urge to escape, I guess, concerns me.
Well, I think I mean, I think the first time that I was aware of this, reading articles some long time ago about male Japanese college students who didn't
Yes.
leave their rooms,
Yes.
whose
Yes.
parents put food outside their rooms,
Yeah.
and that's a very severe form of it. But
Right.
I think then COVID plus technology have combined to give people a comfortable space. Well, first of all, they had to be by themselves, perhaps, and then technology gave them the ability to communicate like we are right now, but also to get lots of information in and out without any actual physical interaction or going out. And now with Grubhub and everything else, then it's a new phenomenon, right? So what will happen? Will there be a new will there be a diagnosis of some sort? And how will it be dealt with? I mean,
right.
Because people are functioning, right? I mean,
no, I guess that's the other part I'm thinking. Where is the line between sort of a diagnosis? Where is the line between healthy, unhealthy, dangerous, but also personal choices, as some people are more or less. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, I'm thinking at some level, and perhaps it's a rationalization. Many creative people, if they're artists, if they're painters or writers, work alone. I mean, they work alone, and if they're not gregarious people, some of them don't go out very much. They just, they churn out novels, they make paintings, and some of them is very successful. But still, they don't really enjoy going out as much as they enjoy staying at home and being creative. So,
well, I mean, I think for me, I think at some age I realized, whether it's writing, well, you do it on your own terms. You don't necessarily go out and promote it, but feeling like whatever type of art, you also have to be your own publicist in some sense, made any of it, and whether it's film, whether it's fine arts, whether it's writing.
Now you do. Now you do.
And that's not something that was in, that I so I don't know. But that's also
no. You see, but that has changed a lot.
Right.
Because there used to be publishers who were devoted to an author, or art dealers who were devoted to an artist, who completely left them alone to do their work, and they took the job of being the, getting it out.
Yeah.
But now people want the character of the artist.
The same thing as music. I mean, the same thing with music.
Yes, absolutely.
Musicians fund their own tours and
Yes.
But I think we're running out of time. I love you.
Yeah. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Can we talk on the phone or briefly at some point?
Yeah, we will.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye.